My partner last night offered to me that he had a need to have some sort of relational repair with me after a communication twinge that didn't quite go exactly how it felt good to him. So I went over there and we sat down, and he was able to access his grief and to access some of the deeper things in his inner world that needed to be looked at while I held space for him. And then he returned to me and we did the same thing on my end. And I was also discussing some of my conditioning around relational experiences that keep me from being more open at all times, which isn't what we're actually looking for in relationships anyway. It's not about being consistently open for the other individual and feeling that high love with that other person. In fact, when you get low and when you get heavy, that is a doorway to more intimacy, because when you can show up in this way and you can meet each other's needs to just be seen and held through your inner experience, that is when the intimacy deepens. Because when we had this barrier to our connection because of things he was experiencing and wounds I was experiencing, and then we show up and communicate about it, our intimacy deepens because we're both understanding that we're both carrying shit. And then in that process, as we release emotionally through being held, the love becomes very big and open. And then we sit there in that and we just giggle and we laugh and we experience each other in our bodies, in our hearts, in the energy that is deep connection. And I understand that this is what most people are actually desiring in relationship, but most people don't know how to get there. That's because your wounds are distorting your perception of reality. That's because your unprocessed fear, your unintegrated parts, the parts of you that are never were allowed to grieve or to feel or to show up and be who you actually are in relationship, are distorting how you see this other individual. And so therefore, if you can't be willing to go inside of yourself and realize where you are self-abandoning and not showing up in partnership in the way that is open and vulnerable, if you can't do those things, you will continue to live in these distorted perceptions of relationship. It has taken me 38 years to get to this point, to understand this. It is what led me to many narcissistic situations. It is what led me to very codependent, toxic dynamics, because I wasn't paying attention to my inner world, to the parts of me that needed to be seen. So if you really want your relationships to shift, it starts with you. Always it starts with you. And if you're ready to do that, you want to start working on this work in a way that deepens you, that can so you can show up to life in this way. Comment ready below. Let's open a conversation together and let's see how I can help you. Much love.